Good afternoon. Once again, I want to share to you about the 5 different kinds of crowns in heaven. You know, only kings and queens have the privilege to wear crowns. And on top of that, beauty queens as well have the privilege to wear a real crown. But as believers of the Lord Jesus Christ, we share the priesthood and kingship of Christ. So we are called in the Bible not only as priests but also kings. So spiritually speaking, we are kings. And if we are kings, it means that we have spiritual crowns. But in heaven, we have a literal crowns. But these crowns are rewarded according to our doings. Our level of reward is determined by what we do. So if we are doing what God asks of us as believers of the Lord Jesus Christ, then we can have those 5 different kinds of crowns. But not all believers can have those 5 different crowns for many reasons. But there's one guarantee that a believer or every believer can have at least one crown in heaven. And the first crown that is mentioned in the Bible is the incorruptible crown, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 25. This crown is given to those who have overcome the flesh, to those who live their life as disciplined believers of the Lord Jesus Christ. They live a disciplined life when it comes to prayer, when it comes to their personal walk with God. So, as far as spiritual discipline is concerned, if you are doing well in your spiritual discipline, then I believe that God is going to reward this incorruptible crown. And the second crown in the Bible that a believer will receive if he is doing what God asks of him to be given this kind of crown is the crown of rejoicing. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 19 and verse 20. This is a soul winner crown. Paul said that you are our crown. So Paul and his fellow leaders or fellow disciples said that it is their joy to see someone growing in the Lord. It is their joy that believers are serving the Lord and grow in their personal walk with the Lord Jesus Christ. And then the third crown is the crown of righteousness. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, a Christian who never quits. So this is about somebody who keeps their faith. Just like Paul said, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. So this is the kind of crown that we are going to receive if we kept the faith, if we move on, especially if we finish strong in our personal journey. before God. And then the fourth one is the crown of life, according to James chapter 1, verse 12. So God will reward us a crown of life if we pass the test of temptation, if we overcome the desires of the flesh, if we overcome every temptation that God allows us to encounter. But God is faithful. He will not give us a temptation beyond what we can bear. That's the good thing, that God will see to it that we will not be overcome by our temptation, but will give us the strength and the grace to overcome our temptation. If we fail, God is faithful to help us rise from where we fall. That's the God that we serve. He is a God of second chances. He is a God of many second chances. And then the fifth crown is the crown of glory. The crown of glory is when we are faithful in discipling others, leading others to Christ as overseers, as pastors, as shepherds of God's flock. Not overlording over them, but being servants, willing to serve the people of God so that they will continue to serve the Lord in love. God bless you.